Hello, welcome to No Filter Boxing. This week we look ahead to the event at Stevenage Football Club as Billy Joe Saunders aims to become a two-weight world champion against Shafat Asufi.
I want to be involved in the big fights, the big nights of British boxing, making history. I can be the first gypsy man to be two-time world champion.
When he gets put under pressure, he rises to it. That always puts the fear of God into people, and that's the way Billy Joe is.
We'll also hear from another man looking to make an impact on that bill, Olympic silver medalist Joe Joyce.
He's a big, strong guy, and you know, it's quite a risky fight. I'm looking forward to the challenge. I'd just like to make sure I get him out there quicker than Hunter.
And we hear from two of boxing's biggest heavyweight prospects as Daniel Dubois and Nathan Gorman came face to face ahead of their summer showdown.
This is going to be one you won't be able to take your eyes off of. It's going to be electric. The atmosphere is going to be electric. It'll be sold out. The place will be buzzing, and we're going to see, I believe, something special.
I only see it one way, but we know we've got a tough task in front of our hands. I mean, look at the size of the man.
It's like this. Be careful what you wish for. I'm here now, and I'm ready to do the work and, you know, get the job done.
Well, I've been wishing for this fight and praying for this fight to come, so it's here, John. You know, I've been wanting this fight since word go.
Oh, great shot. How about that? My goodness. Oh, great shot. Good fast hands. Oh, that's surely
it. Billy, massive fight on Saturday against Asufi back here in Stevenage. Looking forward to it?
I am, yes. It's a long time coming. I had a bad 2018 and, you know, lost my WBO world title. Shall I say, robbed off me, but you know, it's one of them where I'm in touch and distance of becoming champion again, which I believe that I am. He's obviously #1 with the WBO for a reason. You know, so you have to watch these type of people. He's strong, come forward, but I believe if I stick to the game plan and, you know, put in the hard work that I've done in training in the ring, I should get the win comfortably and look good doing it.
If Billy Joe doesn't have a fantastic performance, people will blame Billy Joe, say Billy Joe's not all that. And if it's one of them where he blasts Asufi out, it'll be that Asufi wasn't fantastic. So it's a tough one in that respect, and I'm sure it'll be one that Billy Joe will come through.
I think people are hoping that it will be a launch pad because people want you to fight Canelo. People want to see you against Golovkin. People want you in the big fights, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, listen, and they're the fights that I want to be in them. I want to be involved in the big fights, the big nights of British boxing, making history. I can be the first gypsy man to be two-time world champion, so it's one of them that I'm really looking forward to this.
So why the switch to Ben Davison?
I just needed a change-up. I just thought, different scenery, being around, just being around different people, just getting away from everything. You know, I was with Jimmy Tibbs for 8 years, the bestest coach I've probably ever worked with, is the bestest coach I've worked with. Probably me and Jimmy Braken was probably the hardest choice that I've ever had to make, but it was that or keep getting going a bit more stale on myself. And it's not these coaches' fault, it's just that I need a freshen up. That's all.
And was it the opportunity to be in a camp with Tyson, was that a draw to it as well? The fact that you can...
Look, not so much being in with Tyson, because me and Tyson's really good mates. You know, if I become homeless tomorrow, I can go and live with Tyson if I want. You know, it's not about that, but, you know, it's about the atmosphere. You know, he brings good vibes, he brings good atmosphere. He's done brilliant for British boxing, for world boxing. And we're both trying to take over the world. I'm trying to become two-weight world champion. You know, he's trying to take over America, which he's already done in my eyes. And I didn't want to go to anybody who I go there and I might not like it, and I think, oh, this ain't for me. You know, I know Ben knows me, and I feel that I know we gel well.
With hindsight, do you think you could have stayed with Ben after the Akovov fight? He took a lot of flack for that.
But at the time, Ben was, you know, just coming through, young, very young. And it was more wrong timing. It was more like me with the weight. It was more, I wasn't, you know, I lost 4 stone coming down.
In a short space of time.
In a very short space of time. You know, Ben took a lot of flag, but, you know, Ben picked up my pieces, shall I say. But at the time, could I have stayed with him? Of course I could have stayed with him. I could have stayed where I want, but you got to be somewhere as happy. I went to Adam Booth. He was a great trainer, but I wasn't happy. Then I went to Sheffield. Then I found it. So you have to find that something within yourself as a fighter, you know, to bring that extra little bit out. Now, whether that means, you know, upsetting your best mate, your parents, whoever. Boxing's a very selfish sport. You have to do what you have to do. I ain't seen my kids for 8 weeks, 9 weeks. I don't want to do that, but it's something I have to do. And you have to make them choices and them sacrifices, you know, to move on in yourself. But you know, everything happens for a reason. I've probably produced one of the best performances from a British fighter abroad, and I'm back with Ben now.
You've obviously known Billy Joe a long time. How's his arrival in the camp changed the dynamic?
It's added to it, you know. It's not. It has added to it. I walked into the room on Tyson's room on Saturday or Sunday it was, and it was like 2 teenagers, music pumping. It was like a house party was going on, and it was good to see they get on with each other. And then in the gym, if one's feeling a bit fatigued, a bit tired, you know, if I got start a session on the pads and one's looking on fire, the other one feels competitive. I want to do that, so they bring each other on inside and outside the gym.
And are you inspired by him and by what he's done?
Most definitely. I mean, to be around Tyson, you know, sometimes in this camp I'm sitting there and I go, you know, I ain't seen my kids, Tyson, and you know, this and that, and you just go, boom, 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 say a couple of words, and you're up. You think, yeah, there you go, right, he's right, yeah. So very, very inspirational to be around.
People have talked about Billy Joe's lack of discipline. Is he now of an age now, whereas if he doesn't get his act together and keep it together, it's going to be over?
That's exactly what it is, and what you just said there, Triss, is right. It's up to Billy Joe. There's only so much that other influences can have and a team can have, you know. If he wants to do it, he will do it, and he's been very, very dedicated. He's got an elite level team around him.
You know, I made a mistake, I paid the price.
100,000.
I paid the price, I paid 100,000, yeah? So it's one of them. It's, you know, if you don't learn from them sort of lessons in life, then, you know, you're not a very clever person.
How do you get the momentum back?
Starting this Saturday, you know, to become a 2-time 2-weight world champion, fantastic achievement.
That David Lemieux performance seems like an awful long time ago now, and that was a performance that got everyone talking about you on both sides of the Atlantic.
Yeah, most definitely. I think that it's always in me. That them sort of performances, you know, I'm made for them. That's what I'm in the sport to do. So, you know, them performances will come. I haven't been in a big fight now for a year and 3 months, so, you know, I'm not going to rush into anything. I'm not going to try to please everybody. I'm just going to go in there, do my own thing, let it flow, and it should be world class.
There is a danger if he blasts him out, then he starts to scare off super middleweights the same way that a lot of middleweights didn't want to fight him.
When he gets put under pressure, he rises to it, a bit like Tyson does, and that always puts the fear of God into people, and that's the way Billy Joe is, and it's part of what they're made of.
There's unfinished business for me at middleweight. To be honest with you, there's no one interested in me to get back down to middleweight, only one person. So I'll get back down to that.
Who is?
That is Andrade. So I'll get back down, I'll win what was mine, what took off me, and then I'll go from there. But
just for the simple fact that you don't think Canelo or Golovkin have any interest in fighting.
I'm not worried about them now. I know that's put behind me. Them fights are put behind me, and like I say,
because you signed to fight Golovkin twice, am I right?
I signed to fight Golovkin twice and signed the contract for Canelo once. You know, when they were negotiating, they said, look, they put a big contract in front of me, big money, and said, look, got me to sign it and everything, and I thought it was happening. Their team was more or less saying, look, if you don't give us that, we're fighting here now, we're getting it on. And obviously it worked. So listen, good luck to them, fair play to them. It's all about making money, this sport, but...
Not very nice for you to be used as bait, though.
Well, listen, it is what it is, isn't it? In this sport, we're all bait, ain't we? Everyone's bait in this sport. In the sport of boxing, you're nobody's friend, except from yourself.
I think the best of Billy Joe Saunders is still yet to come, but I just think that when you raise what's in front of Billy Joe, you'll see him raise again, and when you put him in there with the Canelos and Golovkins, I think you'll be shocked.
Golovkin and Canelo, they was obviously waiting for a big fight of each other. Was I the banana skin?
So if you keep in shape between fights and keep performing like you did against Lemieux, you can force their hand, surely?
In this sport, you know, you can look back and say that, but when you really know the politics of this sport, you can't force nobody's hand. Even at world title level, you can't force anybody. I'm willing and open to fight anybody. So all I can do is win, look good, and beat who they put in front of me now.
Join us after the break as we continue to build up to the big event in Stevenage. And we'll be joined by two keen observers of that fight, Daniel Dubois and Nathan Gorman.
I think that Nathan's going to be my easiest fight so far.
That's his motivation, fair play to you. But I'm not his easiest fight today, and he knows it.
Welcome back to No Filter Boxing. We'll hear from Team Joyce shortly, but we now catch up with Daniel Dubois and Nathan Gorman, who are scheduled to meet on July the 13th at the O2 Arena in London.
It's a great time for British boxing. With Joe Joyce, Daniel and Nathan, I believe the three best next generation of heavyweights in the world.
What a time to be a heavyweight boxer, yeah, in this country. You know, on the world stage, you know, we're up there, and you know, obviously, you know, domestically with world-class potential. You know, it's a great time for British boxing.
You know, Daniel's 11 fights, I think Nathan's 16 fights. You know, they're stepping up to the plate very, very quickly in their career.
No disrespect, a few years ago, nobody knew who a British fighter actually was, and now we've got so many. It's such a great time.
They've not had Olympic experience and World Championship experience, as had Anthony Joshua, for example. They're going straight in, determined to deliver and bring the best of boxing.
There's been a lot of talk about this fight, but I think that Nathan's going to be my easiest fight so far.
That's his motivation, fair play to you. But I'm not his easiest fight today, and he knows it.
I've never heard such nonsense, you know. He knows for a certain fact I'm not his easiest fight today. It's like me saying he's my easiest fight today. We're not. We're both the hardest fight today on each other's side. That's why we're training the way we're going to train. You know, we're going to train extremely hard, and we're going to let some bombs go on July the 13th.
So why is it going to be easy? Just because you're going to get him out of the way early? Is that what you're saying?
You'll see on Fight Night.
I was on the GB team, and we've done 300 rounds together. In my opinion, I don't think I dropped one.
From round one go, you know, the sparring sessions was immense. You know, we wanted to hurt each other.
And all those rounds of sparring that you spoke about, how many do you think you lost?
None. I never lost none. Never dropped none. There was all 10-9s, some 10-8s.
I'm glad he feels confident and you know, that feeling. I want to see that in the fight, and after I've hit him with a couple of jabs and keep cutting him down and you know hurting him and beating him up, I want to see that same look in his face.
They're both in the same weight division, striving to get to the number one spot. So obviously there's going to be competition, isn't there? I don't think it's anything personal, you know. If I had a rival, you know, that was trying to beat me to number one squad, I wouldn't be sending him Christmas cards.
There's no love lost there, and you know, I think they've got respect for each other, but you know this is a fight that they both had been focused on, and they knew would happen when they turned professional. With Daniel, it's I'll let your fist do the talking. I mean, he reminds me of it, sort of the way he is, like a young George Foreman. You couldn't get a quote out of George Foreman.
What, we like 8 weeks or so out from the fight? What's your typical day training involved to prepare for this?
It's the same or boring routine, so I'm not going to bother tell you it.
I think a lot's been made sometimes that you're quite shy and not unnatural in front of the cameras, but I think there's little flashes of humour there.
Brilliance. There's brilliance. It's like this, be careful what you wish for. I'm here now and I'm ready to do the work and, you know, get the job done.
Well, I've been wishing for this fight and praying for this fight to come, so it's here, John. You know, I've been wanting this fight since word go.
Daniel Dubois, you know, he's not the most elusive himself. He can get hit. And I think if Nathan comes back with mean intentions, which is what we're working on, I only see it one way. But we know we've got a tough task in front of our hands. I mean, look at the size of the man. But I just think my lad's got more in his armoury. That's why I accepted it.
For a boy, you know, 22 years of age, topping the O2 Arena and winning the belt, it'll be probably the most remarkable night of my life. So it's a massive thing for me.
I really cannot see it going the distance, you know. I'm not giving away the game plan, but we've been working on a few things in the gym, and I expect it to be fireworks.
When it does come, I don't expect this to go to points victory. In my mind, I'm training for the knockout.
I don't predict any rounds, but I'm not taking no prisoners, and I'll go for the kill.
contrasting styles will make this a great fight for the fans. This is going to be one you won't be able to take your eyes off of. It's going to be electric. The atmosphere is going to be electric. It'll be sold out. The place will be buzzing, and we're going to see, I believe, something special.
Now we turn our attention to the man known as the Juggernaut, Joe Joyce. He's looking for the big fights, and a win on Saturday could see him face the winner of Dubois versus Gorman.
It's like a new chapter, so I'll be a new coach and also with a new promoter as well in Frank Warren. So it'd be good to start the journey. Ustinov is a very good opponent for me. He's he's very experienced. He's a big, strong guy. And it's quite a risky fight.
He sparred with Tyson before a couple of fights that Tyson had. This is a tough fight. At the end of the day, don't know what way you want to look at it. I know people keep saying, with Joe that he's won the silver in the Olympics. He's got a wealth of amateur experience. He's still only had 8 fights as a pro, and this is a big step up for him.
I'm looking forward to the challenge.
So this is the first time you've seen him today, is that right?
Yeah.
So did you have an opportunity to size him up a little bit? What did you think when you saw him?
He's got big old hands.
How much has Adam added to you, Joe, since you've been working with him? Is it he's noted as a guy who is good on improving your defence. Is that what you've been looking at? Greater lateral movement, that sort of thing?
Yeah, and you're obviously not getting hit, like a lot of getting your head offline after you've thrown the shots, and also to a lot of it is generated from the legs. So we've been doing training and that incorporating that kind of stuff. He's very experienced. He's had, would you say, 38 fights. And
this is his 38th.
Yeah. So he's a big, strong guy. He's going to be tough, and it's a step up, and he's going in the right direction. Well, where I want to be. So I have to beat these guys to get to the next level.
How much of him have you been able to see? Have you studied him, watched him?
Yeah, I've watched a couple of his fights. I've watched that one with Hunter, the last one, and a few other ones. So I can see what he has in his arsenal, and also what I'm going to have to do to beat him.
He can punch.
Yeah.
Which you have to be aware of, I guess.
Yeah, and not get hit. But I mean, if I do get hit, I can take a shot and I can give one back. So there's not so much problem with that.
It's going to be a mess tonight, but he can't afford to slip up.
No.
He cannot afford to slip up. And as I say, I think it's going to be a tough fight for him.
Realistically, have you got a time scale for when you want to be world champion?
Hopefully I can pick up the regular before the end of the year. That's the plan. And then obviously 2020, then I can move on to some of the bigger belts.
You wouldn't mind fighting AJ. Do you think you'd be ready for him or the likes of Fury in a couple of fights' time, or do you think you could take him on next?
Of course, I would put my name forward to save the show, and also it's for the belts. That's what I'm in boxing for.
The Juggernaut Joyce!
I sparred all the likes of Joshua, Fury before, so I kind of know where I'm at.
But you'd be prepared to face either of those two or Wilder in order to get that world title further down the line?
Yeah, those are the big fights. They're the 3 big names that are out there and who I need to be beating.
And do you think you've got it in your locker to beat those guys? What makes you think you can come out on top against those guys?
All of them are 50-50 fights, so I'd have to be training diligently and making sure I'm the best Joe Joyce for those fights. I believe I have got what it takes to beat them.
This is the start of a new chapter in your life. How does that story end?
Me winning the world title, etc. Undefeated, undisputed, heavyweight champion of the world.
That's all we have time for this week. But tune in on Saturday for Fight Night Live from Stevenage FC. It's the chance for Billy Joe Saunders to get his career back on track and become a two-weight world champion. Bye for now.
The last 18 months has been a big roller coaster really for me in boxing. Brilliant ups, extremely lows. I think 2019 for me now is sink or swim. It's one of them that I have to really, really excel or it's not going to happen. There's no better feeling than going in a fight with everything, all the chips in. When you know you've got that fear factor in you, you know you're going to perform. I know the best of me is yet to come. I know that. 29 to 31 now is your prime. I'm not going to get any better, and this is going to be my peak years. I know I'll become world champion. I will be world champion at super middleweight.